Hello, hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are connecting from. I am Juliana Rabi, career coach, and I'm happy to be here for one more LinkedIn Live. I think it's actually my live 27 or 28. So, yes, amazing. Thank you for being here watching because a live just makes sense if there is someone on the other side. So, thank you for the ones watching live, and thank you also for the ones watching the recording. I know that a lot of people are not available right now, so you are very welcome to watch also until the end. I will do my best to add as much value as possible. And I have a special guest also joining me today. The topic we are going to talk about is the obviously not so obvious way to accelerate your career and income. And I think this title is powerful because it might be obvious for some people, it might not be obvious to others, but like, what if we all, myself included, right, could accelerate our career and our income? How amazing is that? So this is what we are going to talk about here. And before I bring my guest, I just want to ask you to let me know in the chat where are you connecting from, because I know I have a very international audience and I love it. So let me know in the chat where are you connecting from, which country, which city, and also if you can hear me and see me well, because there are some technical things I need to check here, especially at the very beginning, just to make sure that the streaming is working well. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, just say, say hi and say where you're connecting from. And if you are on YouTube, same thing. So I'll relax here and know that all the technical part is working out well. Okay, so say hi in the chat, don't be shy, and also use the chat to talk to us because you won't have the microphone. I know you know how it works, right? But I want to give you voice also. So if you have any comment, if you have any question, if you want to share maybe your example, your situation, if whatever we are sharing resonates with you, please use the chat. I'll keep an eye on it and I will also bring some questions on the stage so my guest and I can answer those questions as we move on with the live. Okay, so don't be shy, say hi in the live. Let me just see one thing here. Okay. Okay, I'm live now. I think I had some issues here from my side. I'm live now on LinkedIn. I see that Eric from Barcelona. So thank you for the comment. So who else is connecting here? Just say hi. We are good. Okay. So let's start. I'm going to put again the name of our live here for you to start thinking questions and like how this topic resonate with you. And I want to bring my special guest today. So as a quick introduction, he is someone that every time I talk to him, two things happen. Okay, two things every single time. And I know him for like 6 or 7 years, I guess. So every single time we have met, two things happen. One is that I reveal the way I approach things. So he shake my way of thinking and seeing life and understanding career and life in general. So he shakes my beliefs, let's say. And the second thing is that I always learn something new from him. So I thought that's only fair that I bring here for you all to know him if you don't know and to learn from him, Eric Eklund. So welcome on stage. Nice to have you here. How are you?
Thank you,
Welcome.
thank you so much for having me, and let's have a little bit of fun.
Let's have
Do
fun
I? Is
together.
my sound nice? Is
Your
my
sound is nice. Yes. Everything. I think it's all good. Yes.
beautiful?
I think it's all good. Yes.
I'm ready.
So do you want to quickly introduce yourself for the ones who doesn't know you yet? Yes.
Certainly, the name is Eric, made in Medellin, Colombia, but raised and, well, say, made an adult in Sweden. And then from, well, thinking I'm an adult, traveling around the world, being now living in 9 countries, and finding and figuring out my own, becoming more human on that journey. A recovered people pleaser. I've been so good at making people feel good, unfortunately, on the cost of my own. And right now, I strongly believe that nobody should have to be someone they are not. On this journey I've been through, I've discovered that you and I and everybody else out there truly, truly have the right to decide who we want to be and the life we want to live by our own. And as you might have seen, Juliana, as well, you might have noticed that there are some amazing people out there. They are responsible, caring, talented, ambitious. They have visions of a beautiful future, and yet they often undervalue themselves,
Yes.
struggle to express who they really are, and go rather unrecognized and feeling drained and lost on that journey, knowing that, I'm using like 40, 50% of my potential. I have so much more to give. So I'm working with those people. I love working with those people and guiding them to come home within so that they can express their true selves, use their story and the authentic richness that they have to be recognized for who they are, contribute to a world where joy, love, and freedom is a norm, and they can feel that they are living from their true purpose. By
Wow.
today, I've done this for like 7 years, and as you said, I have done this. Like we met already, like in the beginning there, right?
Yeah, like 7 years ago. Yeah, in
Yes.
Barcelona.
So
I
that was
remember that.
really start. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You see what happens when you just open up and go with the flow. So really beautiful.
Yeah. And one thing that, as I said, like you always make me rethink the way I approach things. And um, I know this is what you do for your clients also. So for the ones who are watching us, I want to bring one question here, just to for people to understand why we are doing this live. Because as you said, we both realize that a lot of professionals out there, they are not living their full potential. They are living below their possibilities. They are not happy with their life. There are a lot of things going on. So if you could summarize, like the professionals that you talk to, right? People from different countries, different industries, and all of that. What do they what do they want actually to be successful? Like what they aspire to be? What is it that they picture themselves doing or living or feeling that they don't have at the moment?
Well, it quickly comes down to money.
Mm,
Well, it comes down to mainly three things. And I often hear this when they're talking to me, as in, they've been working years up to senior leadership positions, VP, director roles. They have founded companies. They are having teams. They have sold one company, have their team now. Yet they have this feeling like it's not aligned with all the different passions and facets they have. This very common thing is I'm multi-passionate, I'm multifaceted. So how do I align all this? Because I feel like I'm going all in here, but I'm missing out on my creative side or my artistic side. I don't feel that what I really do is bringing that meaning to others that I know I can deliver. So there's this fulfillment side, absolutely. They also know that they can get paid. They know they should get paid better and more for all that talent, expertise, and skills that they bring into the table. And 9 out of 10 times, my clients are women, amazingly driven and caring women.
true.
So
Yes.
I truly, really, really relate with them. And I believe I often work with women because I'm a minority. I'm the, let's say it as it is, I'm the black guy in a white society and I have to stand up for myself. I had to learn that since I was a little boy. So with that story with me, and I'm often talking about this, I often inspire people who feel and have been pushed aside, holding back, like, I don't want to really go there, put yourself out there.
Yeah, this is so true. I had a conversation this morning, a few hours ago, with a woman that is feeling just like that, underpaid, undervalued, and like her boss is going to go on maternity leave. She's going to take over the responsibilities of the boss,
Mm.
obviously without a salary increase or anything, just like taking the responsibility. And she was like, I feel there is much more out there for me. I feel this is disrespectful, this environment, also abusive. But I'm here. I don't know how to make a move. She's lost, but the feeling is exactly what you described. Like this morning, I had this call. So yes, that's very accurate. I've seen that several times. So normally people are facing some negative feelings and situations, and that leads me to my next point. Like when people decide to reach out for help, what is the limit that like I could wait until here, but now it's unsustainable. Now I cannot like live like this anymore, which is exactly what happened this morning in this call that I had, right? So what is normally, right, the negative situation, feelings and environments that they experience that they clearly want to move away from?
Let's say here, first of all, it often shows up in three areas of their life. Their relationships, they start becoming grumpy and the relationship starts to feel like friction and conflict.
True.
The work that they're doing, or let me also add this, single and single forever. It comes there too, but that's one area. Another one is in the tasks that they do. They can feel like it's small. It's not that meaning that I really want to see. It doesn't really make an impact. Like I'm just living here doing the life of my expected family, society, and colleagues. And then it's the health, the stress,
Yeah.
the burnout, the depression, the headaches, the sleepless nights, the always alert. And could you pull up a slide here?
Yes.
This is what some of my clients often say, and I can resonate to this 100%. This feeling of, I'm done hiding, I'm done feeling unheard, I'm done holding back, like playing small, comes often through the conversations.
Yes.
But then the second one, the middle line, oh my goodness, I think this is the most common line of them all. Like, time, I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting for people to recognize me for a promotion. I'm done waiting for that 0.1% income increase. It's like,
Or
I'm
the
done
classic
with
2% at the
Yeah.
end of the year that barely covers the inflation, probably doesn't. So yeah. I also hear this phrase like, I feel another way is like, I feel I'm wasting my time in this
100%.
situation. Yeah, I feel I'm wasting my
also
time.
comes into the relationships. Like, I don't feel the relationship is going anywhere. It also comes there. Like, where are we going? The work. Where am I going? Me, myself, and I just like, where am I going? What am I doing here, really? And then the
Yeah.
third one is really visual as well, as in, I don't want to depend on others to notice me and my value and my work anymore. I know I'm valuable. I don't want to justify myself anymore. And I had this beautiful client from Norway, I think 2 years ago, where she walked into the office of her boss, and her boss literally said, I just would need you to prove yourself to me. She was like,
Wow.
I'm proving myself. I've been here for years. I've been working my ass off. I've been sacrificing my family time, my work-life balance, my health. And you want me to prove me more? So yeah, that's the answer. You see how I get a little bit worked up too when I'm there because I've been there. So
Yeah. And it's like when you speak up, like this client, this example, right? It doesn't mean that the other part will fully accept that. You might still face some resistance. Like this person said, oh, you need to prove yourself. It's like, I have been working here for years. Why do I still need to prove out myself, right? So verbalizing that once doesn't guarantee the change. So you might need to have different strategies and consistency to do that. One more thing from this call that I had this morning, because it's so aligned with what you're sharing, Eric. This girl said, I was crying for 5 days. I didn't know why, but I was just crying all the time. I was so sad, so sad. I couldn't sleep. I was crying during the day, during the night. And then I asked her, from 1 to 10, what is the how much of a priority is a career change for you now? And she said, well, I didn't realize it was so important, but probably very close to 10 because this is affecting my health situation. So as you said, affects relationship, affects the tasks you do, affect your career, but at some point it might affect even your health. So it's a very high price that we are paying to be in this kind of, I don't know, toxic, undervalued environment, right? Yeah,
Absolutely. And I would
yeah.
love to, that question, I would like to throw it to the audience here, as in, I don't know where you are right now or what you're going through, but you are here. You got pulled in of some reason.
Somehow.
So
Yeah.
do you have the courage to share with us also what it is you would like more of right now? I would love to see that in the chat, to see like, okay, so what is it you would love more of in your life? I often like to ask what you like to feel, be, or have in your life right now.
Hmm.
Maybe you are pretty satisfied, and I'm happy to work with people and see people who are satisfied, but who still dares to dream big, to say, I'm in a great place in my life. So now I
Yeah.
would love to contribute more with that to people. I would love to bring a greater impact to others. I would love to spend my time doing writing a book. That could be it. I
Like
have
the
many of
next
my clients
level,
who are writing books.
the next level for you, whatever
Yeah.
it looks like, right? Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So I have one more question for you, Eric. I'm assuming that whoever is here watching us live or watching the replay, for some reason, identify with the topic of the live, right? They were like, I would like to improve my career and my income. That could be nice, but let me at least start thinking about it. Maybe the person was not thinking before, but it's like, is it even possible? So let me dream a bit here. So, what are the common obstacles that people who are somehow stuck in their life, in their career, in their relationship, what are the common obstacles that they are struggling to overcome? And of course, um, what can they try? What can they do to overcome that?
All right. Obstacles. Common obstacles. Many. Um, Perfectionism. Imposter syndrome. Fear of judgment. Thinking that fancy Nancy who lives in their brain comes up there and says, who am I? Who am I to do this? Like, how do I even start in the first place? They have so many certifications and diplomas and educations that I don't have. They speak languages that I can't. I am 40, 50 plus. I can't do it now. Those things there are very, very common. But if you also open the slide to show you three that many have said, obstacle to be seen, which is funny. How do you know? And I would love to see if there's anyone in the audience to relate this. Like, you would love to be recognized. And I even remember when we started to talk, like, you wanted to be recognized. But that means allowing ourselves to be seen and
Yes.
be seen fully. I want to feel ready. The imposter syndrome comes in there, right?
I'm not ready yet. When I feel
Not yet.
completely ready, yeah, I'm still missing this thing, this part. Yeah, but soon,
Absolutely.
soon.
And
Yeah,
with that comes the third one. I don't want to just put myself out there. And
yeah,
I want to say, when I hear this one, I put this in context, it often comes to that people have already tried. They have worked with coaches. They
yeah,
have
probably.
tried social media already. They have done it and they have come to the point where it didn't work out. It took a lot of time and energy out of them and they started to lose themselves on the way of doing it. So just putting themselves out there, showing up, doing videos, LinkedIn lives, showing posts or sharing posts, not their thing. And they're starting to feel quite done and tired with all this hammerment of you need to post 3 times a day, and if you're not on LinkedIn you can't do this. Maybe they don't even want to be on social media.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not one formula fits all. right? Because they might, there was a lot of comparison on what you shared before, right? Because this person has this certification, because this person speaks, I don't know how many languages, because they're younger than me, because they're older than me. So when we are only comparing to others, it's normal that it feels like I'm never ready, because there will always be someone doing more from my perspective, right? Because we never know what the other person is going through. That's another thing. We are comparing our stage, our backstage with their stage. But from the outside, it might look like I'm never ready. So the comparison is very cruel, right? It hurts a lot, but also like how to move away from that, especially if we talk about social media, that you brought the topic, right? You see people doing so much, and they are posting and they are sharing, and they have, I don't know how many followers and likes on their posts. And how am I going to start? Like, I feel like this is small. I feel like I'm never ready. So it's kind of a cycle, a negative cycle that it's hard to break, right?
So let's jump to the good stuff.
Yeah. So shall we move to a possible solution? I mean, this is getting a bit negative, right? So I
I know, that's
hope
one.
there
Like,
is hope.
let's go positive right now before we lose the whole world. I
Yeah,
still don't know if anybody's catching in or something. Like, drop your little high in the comments. Okay,
let's go for the
the
solution, like
solution, right?
bringing some light to this
Let's
heavy
bring some love in
situation.
here.
Yes.
There are many solutions, so many solutions. I believe some of you will already try it there. The one solution that really, really speaks to me, and I would like to frame this in a story. It's, I still remember when I was in Berlin and I had moved to Berlin. My girlfriend at the time was living there, and I was, I was the peak of my career right then. So I was looking for a new job. And I was walking into this interview session where there's this U-shaped table and it's 8 of us.
I'm working with those people.
Right there. Oh.
Sorry, I was checking the transmission on my
Okay.
phone, and then just to see we are
But
live here.
there are 8 of us there, sitting there. It's a group interview. And I don't know about you, Juliana, or anyone is watching, but group interviews are worse than one-on-one interviews in my experience. Like, we
Much more
all
pressure.
sitting there. We have to present ourselves for everybody. So here comes the question, right? So what's your story? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? And the person who's interviewing us starts in one of the corners, like the opposite corner from where I am, and going anti-clockwise. I will be the last one. And I'm sitting there listening to people like, oh my God, I've got a Harvard degree. They speak 7 languages. They have so many certificates. They've been working 10 years of experience already. When it comes to me, I'm sitting over here and I'm just like, done. I am at the point of my life where I just tell them the truth. I say that I'm here because I moved to Berlin for love. I'm here because my relationship is about to fall apart. I was living in London before that, and I was hired by Christie's auction house. I thought I was going to stay there and work with them. I was like, wow. But then I got the message from my girlfriend saying she needs space and not sure about the relationship anymore. So I had a choice to make. I made it to leave London to come to Berlin, a place I've never lived before, and look for a new job. Start from scratch again. The whole room is quiet.
Silence.
They're like, I didn't get the job. The interviewer, when everybody left, she just pulls me aside and goes, "Hey, Eric, I don't think this job will be for you, but I am looking for someone who can help me, and I think you would be perfect fit for that. Would you like that?"
Wow.
Since then, I don't know how many stories I have to tell you that when you tell your truth, when you express your story, the world turns towards you. Things start to come in alignment, in an ease, and in a flow for you. You don't have to fight. You don't have to chase everything. You don't have to persuade people. And that's the solution, your story. And I would love to give you tips on how to use your story today so you can walk away from here and knowing that we relate, that we walk away feeling that, next time I'm in my sales calls with my teams, when I'm promoting myself, do that using your story, and everything becomes way easier. And you don't have to hesitate about bragging and coming off as a complete selfish person who's just me, myself, and I.
Wow, this is so powerful, because in this example you shared, I'm sure you could not predict the overcome, right? You just shared the situation. You didn't know if you're going to get the job. I mean, actually, you were there to get the job that you didn't get. So there is a certain level of, I cannot control the results of it, but at least I stick to my truth and I am sincere, and I speak up, and things happen, although I cannot control them. So that's amazing. I also want to know this. We're thinking about it before, like, what happened when we don't change the situation?
Right. Can we
With
can
the-
we can we talk more positive, right?
Okay. Well,
I
I
can
thought you
tell.
were gonna. Okay, I thought you were gonna share the tips now, but
I
okay, we
can do
can.
that afterwards.
Okay,
let's talk about the solution. Let's talk about how
okay.
to
I'll
tell
go
the
back to
story
this
so
one.
people really get it juicy for that. And
This
then,
one.
yes,
Okay.
there are consequences of not doing that, of course. What's at stake, right? But let's say,
So the
yeah,
practical tips for
practical tip.
making
When you're
things
telling
happen.
a story, when people, let's say self-promotion, social media in front of another person, and to talk about yourself. Some people or I often notice that people do one or two things. A, they start with historical breakdown of their life. Nobody wants to listen to history lesson of your life. I get it; it's a story, but it's not a compelling story. So to tackle number one, start with, for instance, if you pull up the slide right now, start with,
Yes.
for instance, what you stand for. I did that in the beginning of this call, even. I said this thing out, like, I really passionate, and then I really believe that nobody should be someone they are not. I started with that line. I really believe that we all have the right to choose the life that we want to live, and da da da. And then I went, and therefore I work with. Now you already see what my value, my core value is, my philosophical
Exactly.
belief, and I'm going there. So the person in front of you can, like, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. That's part of your story. I also gave you another part in the beginning of my introduction today, which was about a shameful part of me that has been, it's like a shame, it's a shadow word, a shadow side on me. When I said, I'm a recovered people pleaser. So you can use this too when you're talking to people, introducing yourself. As a prone people pleaser, I've been through so many experiences of giving, giving, and giving just to end up last. And now I really stand for that balance is the key to life. You see how that completely just brings a whole more edge than saying, so I was born in Sweden, and then I went to university in one of the student towns there where I studied in.
Boring, predictable, linear, expected. Yeah, it's very different, the two
There you
approach.
go.
Very
That's the
different.
first
Yeah.
tip for you in terms of how to tell your story. Start with what you stand for.
Nice.
Any
Nice.
questions, any reflections? Let me know.
Well, I have many, but okay, let's move on. I
Okay,
love this topic, so I could be
number
talking
two
here
then.
forever. Okay, let's
Number
keep
two,
going.
what are you working towards? Again, I imagine yourself when you're promoting yourself and when you to share a post online, or tell us where you're working towards. So instead of I have an ICF certification, an LLP certification, and I am graduated from Michigan State University, and I have 15 years of experience working with senior leaders in the pharmaceutical industry. Boring. People are just sitting there
Boring.
thinking,
That's more like a resume style of communication,
what are you
right?
working towards?
Listing things.
Try
Huh?
that approach. Just try the approach right now. They're like, Juliana, why are you here on this live? What would you like to achieve? Putting you on the spot now.
Oh, it's a real question for me.
It's a real question.
Oh, okay. I would like to create a space to talk about things that we don't talk often, to bring the light to a different perspective to our careers and lives so we can be happier doing whatever we choose to do. That's what I'm working towards right now with this live.
Beautiful. And then comes obviously follow-up question from me. So what are you doing to create that space?
I'm here on the live. I'm checking the chat to see if there is any question to bring it here. I'm paying attention. I'm not taking notes, but I'm taking mental notes a bit. So
You're hosting LinkedIn Lives. That's one
Yeah.
thing you do.
Yeah.
And then
Creating spaces like
you're
that.
promoting yourself right there. I'm hosting LinkedIn Lives. I'm a podcast host. I run a charity event, whatsoever. But now we add character to your story. We know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
And third, but not least, to give you 3 today, what are your learning lessons about you?
Love that.
What is something that you have learned that just changed your way of looking at yourself, the world, beliefs? So for instance, if you want to talk about yourself and promote something that you're really good at, let me use something that I am using a lot. And that is that ever since I was a little boy, I was shy. I was rather introverted. I was in the Scouts. My mom and dad wanted us to be Boy Scouts.
Can't imagine you're shy, but you were shy at some
I
point.
was super shy. You know, me and my brother were supposed to be as Scouts, go and sell cookies. And my mom noticed that every time we went to sell cookies, it was back in the days when you had to go to somebody's place and actually ring the doorbell.
Ring the bell. Yeah, I remember that.
And I pushed my brother in front and just go like, hey, you take that.
You
My
do the
mom
talk.
noticed that for some reason. He said, no. You don't do that again. So since then, I had to do that.
Wow.
And I learned how to start communicating by selling cookies. That changed the way I looked at myself, confidence, dealing with objections, taking a no, getting the door slammed in my face, all these things. And I learned that all these techniques didn't really work, sorry. But what really worked was when I came there and I was just Eric, the little boy with big afro hair and big white smile and just going, hey, Grandma P, would you like to buy some cookies?
Yeah. And this is the opposite of what you shared before. Like, I don't feel ready to do this, whatever it is. So you're never going to feel ready. But once you start doing, you can learn the lesson through the process and you can improve it. So they're really connected, right? Start doing it. Like when your mom pushed you, like you go and you ring the bell. Oh, I don't feel ready. I'm sure you didn't feel ready. But once you start doing it, you learned, right?
So that is something that we can often say, that when we're introducing ourselves from a person, or like, you know what, Juliana, I used to be so shy and I was a Boy Scout selling cookies. But I discovered back then the art of communication and using my own storytelling. Today I use it all the time, and I'm the director of XYZ or something, or I can use it. But that is storytelling versus the historical breakdown of your life, or show off version of how many achievements you have done, or the pity me version of I have gone through this, I've gone through this, I've gone through this, you should really feel pity for me. That is another form of storytelling, and it's far from compelling.
Yeah. So we can choose how we introduce yourself, how people perceive us, right? Based on how we are introducing ourselves. We are going almost towards the end of the live. So I want to bring this question again. I don't know if it's the right time to talk about it. Like, what if we do nothing to change? We remain where we are. It's an option also.
For those who are still with us, thank you so much that you're still with us. It tells me a lot already that you're still here. And that means I would also love you to think of the consequences, the costs that you're already experiencing. And I guess that if you are with us now and you are relating to what we've been talking about, you can already name some of those costs. Please put up the slide for this one too. The one that I hear most of the time is the third one: living the life of others and never mine. Feeling that this is not what you want in your life, that you are compromising, conforming, giving up to others. And that often leads to you starting to feel an inner emptiness growing inside of you. And with that inner emptiness comes loneliness. We often try to disguise our emptiness and loneliness in doing more things. Get involved in Toastmasters, in the corporate CSR program. We take on our son's sports coach assistant role. We do this.
Keep ourselves busy.
We
right?
want, yeah, we've been trying to find something externally to finally fill that emptiness, but it's still there, and you start already, or you probably already have this feeling of burnout, anxiety, increased stress, frustration, sleepless nights,
Oof,
grumpiness, bitterness. You put self-critical. Can you relate to that one? Being very pessimistic and sarcastic instead of that positive person that you know deep down you are. You become controlling and distrusting and jealous. And when you're looking at other people out there, you often criticize them and judge, and like, oh, yeah, those Barbies out there. Just giving you that's the direction you're heading if you don't decide to take charge of switching this playing field. Time.
Wow.
Wasting a lot of time as well. So
Yeah.
I will leave that as it's a dark consequence, it's a dark cost of not turning this around. And again, there are many different techniques, but the obviously not so obvious technique is just use your own authentic story. You don't need to learn how to persuade others or take on any new skill. Learn how to express your authenticity from here. Tell them who you are, and tell them in a way that they can feel that you're just vibrating on love and well-meaningness, and just going, wow, you're such a vibrant person. You have such a colorful story. I would love to work with you. And
yeah, I'm sure that people were expecting, like, oh, it's one certification that I need to take. Is this one course? Because that would be easier, right? If it was something external, something that I still need to acquire, something that I don't have yet. But when you say it's sharing your own story, it's like, oops, I have a story. It's with me already. Now the question is, how do I use it? So it's not external. It's an internal solution that is already available to all of us, right?
yeah.
Wow.
And many people are shying away from using their story. They are thinking,
yeah,
but what if my parents, my friends, what do people that know me already say?
yeah. Or
The
I don't have a
best
powerful
thing
story. My story is not interesting. My story will never open doors to me. There are people that are better than me and all of that. So I want to know this, like, what comes next? What can be done?
So
Actually,
right now, when you listen to this, if you feel that you get inspired thinking, hey, I would love to use my own story. I would love to step into my own authenticity way more than I'm doing right now as a leader, as a founder, as a beautiful person in a transition, someone who just wants to get recognized more for that promotion, get greater responsibility. If that's what you feel, reach out to one of us. Probably way better for Juliana when it comes to if you're in a career transition and want to figure out those steps. Now I'm selling yourself here a little bit, but really, like,
go ahead.
one thing that I see most people do is they try to do it alone. And then they come to me later and they say, I have tried to do it by myself so long, but it takes too long.
Exactly. And I'm exhausted. I'm almost giving
Exactly.
up. I need help. Yes.
So I would suggest that, but practically, before I go in here even more, is one actionable step. Have a tea, a glass of wine, and ask yourself, what are my most pivotal moments in my life? When did I have that experience that really changed the way I look at life? It changed my belief system and my mindset. When was that? And make it really profound. Like, I had this one moment when I was watching a movie, The Shack. And in the movie, there's this phrase that just came to me. It said, "Who do you have to forgive?" And I was thinking, like, who do I have to forgive? But it stuck with me. You know, when you're just hearing a song or somebody,
And you
it's just
can't forget it. Yeah.
exactly. It's like, okay, who do you have to forgive? And it came to me, my mom. And I was like, I have forgiven my mom. That's okay. Your birth mom. And that changed everything for me. That's
Before
why
and after. Yeah.
I didn't trust. I mean, I was still angry at my birth mom, which I could see as a cost in my relationships. I was not trusting women because as long as the more intimate they got, the less I trusted them. So that's
There's
just
a
one
lot of
example.
self-knowledge also, right? Look inside and understand
Yeah. So this
what
is
is stopping you.
correct.
Yeah. Yourself.
And that's what I would like to give everybody as a tip who's listening to this. If you want to start using your own story and you want to feel that, okay, how do I do that? Start looking at those pivotal moments. And if this becomes too emotional, it really evokes feelings inside first, and allow it to come. It means there are unprocessed moments, emotions in here. It's a great sign. If it's
Yeah.
emotionless, it's
It's a
powerless.
bad sign. Keep searching.
Second of
Yeah.
all, reach out to Juliana or myself. Juliana, if it's more for career transition and figure out where you are in career and really get tips and guidance on how to navigate your career. Me, if it's more for the actual steps of using your story and communicating it. I often refer to it as how to uncover, build, and tell your story.
Love it. Love it. Well, I would stay here much longer because, as I said, I always take a lot from our conversations. I have some ideas here actually in my mind. But, anyways, just to wrap up, I think you want to say something. You want to offer something to people who are watching and all of that. So, you want to talk about it, and then we we close with that.
Okay. So for me, for everybody who would love to reach out to me after this, I have noticed one thing about this whole thing of trying to do it alone. I've done this for 7 years, right? And I'm offering people that now are here watching this live or in the replay to click that link that I've been posting in the comment section, which is also down here, and schedule a free 30-minute call with me where we can just discover where you're at, where you would like to go, what might be the best solutions for you, etc. There's no commitment here. But here's the thing. Most of the time, I do lives like this, and there are hundreds of people on them. Can you guess how many people take this chance to just open up and talk?
Very few, I guess.
Every
Right?
single time. It's not only me, my colleagues and collaborators too.
Well, taking action is much more difficult than watching a live, right?
I mean, yes, you can sit here and listen to
Yeah.
this, and you can
Yeah.
try to do it alone, but I even saying there's no commitment needed, but you may get, just like with you, Juliana, golden nuggets that helps you shorten whatever journey you're on, just like this by having one free call. And then
Yeah.
through that free call, you might even consider working together with us. Who cares? I don't really matter about that right now. Now it's only about that first step to move
First
towards
step.
where you want to go.
Yeah. Amazing. So, Eric, thank you very much. So happy to have you here. Thank you, everyone who watched live, who is watching the recording. You can still comment on the chat. We're gonna keep an eye on it. You can still
Oh yeah.
reach out to us directly, and yeah, bring your voice in the format of a text, of filling up a form, reaching out to someone, but don't keep this voice inside or hidden, because there is so much more for you if you feel you're not living your full potential, right? So, yeah,
I mean,
that's
the
very
joy,
important.
the love, the freedom, the
Yeah,
rainbows and unicorns that will come.
much more. All of it that can happen. So yeah, I will also share this again. It's a QR code. If you wanna talk to me, reach out to me. This QR code is gonna be the first action that you can take to have a direct conversation with me. So feel free to reach out. If you're here, if you're watching, if your career is not where you want it to be yet, we can fix that together. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Eric, once again. And I'll see you all in my next live. Take care. Bye.